In the small dusty village of H, everyone knew who Tari was. She was the woman who never lacked food, never missed the market day, and always wore clean wrappers. But what made people whisper was this: Tari kept having babies for men from the city. They would come in dark cars, give her money, and go back with her newborns. No one ever saw the babies again. She always said they went to good homes. "She's selling her womb," Mama Didi would hiss whenever Tari passed by. But Tari never explained herself. Not even to her only daughter, Fola. Fola was just 10 years old, with big curious eyes and a heart that didn't yet understand pain. One night, after a strong wind howled through H, Fola disappeared. Tari screamed. She searched every hut. She ran barefoot to the river, the forest, the shrine. But Fola was gone. The villagers shook their heads and said, "Now she pays the price." 3 days later, as the sun bled through the clouds, Fola returned. She stood at the edge of the village, barefoot and shivering. But something was wrong. She didn't speak. She didn't smile. She didn't recognize her own mother. Tari rushed and held her tightly, crying into her hair. "Fola. My child. You're back." But Fola just stared at her like a stranger. She didn't remember the house. She didn't remember her toys. She didn't remember her name. That night, Fola sat on the mat, drawing strange shapes in the sand with her fingers. Her eyes looked like someone else's. Deep. Distant. Empty. The elders were called. They checked her, prayed over her, and even gave her a bitter leaf bath. But nothing worked. Fola was not the same child anymore. One old woman named Mama Aku came quietly to Tari's hut and sat with her. Her eyes were tired, and her voice shook like dried leaves. "You opened the gate too many times, Tari," she whispered. "When you sell what the gods give to make life, the gods will take what you cannot sell." Tari looked at her daughter, still drawing in the sand, still lost inside herself. Her hands trembled. "I just wanted a better life," she said softly. "I was tired of hunger. Of shame. But some things," Mama Aku said, "should never be for sale." That night, Tari couldn't sleep. She stayed awake watching Fola. And for the first time, she wondered if the men from the city had taken more than just babies. Maybe they had taken part of her soul too. One morning, Fola stood up and walked to the river without a word. Tari followed, calling her name. Fola didn't stop. She entered the water, step by step, until the river swallowed her up. Tari screamed and jumped in after her, but she was too late. The water was calm. Too calm. Fola was gone. They searched all day. But her body was never found. Her eyes looked like empty pots. And even though the men from the city returned, offering more money, Tari shut her door and never opened it again. In the village of H, people still whisper about the woman who sold her womb. But they whisper more about the child who came back without a soul and disappeared with the river.